Welcome to the deep dive.
Good to be here.
So today we're diving into something pretty specific, a U.S. travel advisory about measles in Ontario, Canada.
Right. We've got the official advisory itself and some news reports surrounding it.
Exactly. And the goal here really is just to unpack what's going on for anyone, maybe thinking about heading across the border. This is happening, it's worth noting, against a backdrop of some, let's say, tensions, trade talk, tariffs, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Though we're focusing purely on the health side today, not getting into the politics of it.
Absolutely. The core issue is this advisory from April 2nd, 2025. It came from the New York State Department of Health, the NYSDH.
And they specifically called out Ontario, said measles cases are, well, way up.
They did. And the language they used was quite striking, actually.
Yeah.
They said, and I'm quoting loosely here, but something like, measles is only a car ride away.
Wow. Okay. So very direct.
Very direct, clearly aimed at people thinking about, weekend trips, family visits, the ease of just hopping over the border.
That proximity is obviously a big factor in their warning then. Makes sense.
And the numbers, well, they really tell the story. Between mid-October 2024 and April 2nd this year, 661 confirmed cases in Ontario.
661. That sounds like a lot. How does that compare?
Well, get this. Between 2013 and 2023, so a whole decade, the total was just 101 cases.
Okay, yeah. That's a massive jump. More than 6 times the decade total in just 6 months.
Pretty much. I mean, 89 of those cases were in just 1 week leading up to the advisory.
Right. And measles is incredibly contagious, isn't it? Like one of the most infectious diseases we know.
Exactly. Very high R0 value. Spreads like wildfire in populations that aren't well vaccinated.
So that surge really explains why public health folks are, raising the flag here.
Definitely. So what's the actual advice? What should people do if they're planning a trip?
The NYSDH is pretty clear. Basically, check your vaccination status. Make sure you've had the MMR.
MMR, that's measles, mumps, rubella.
That's the one. And ideally, they say, get it sorted at least 2 weeks before you travel, especially if you're heading into an area with known outbreaks.
So it's about protecting yourself, obviously, but also preventing further spread when you come back.
Precisely. It's a public health measure as much as personal protection.
And this isn't just numbers on a page, right? There have been actual exposure risks reported.
Yeah, that's true. Just last month, in March, there were warnings in Toronto. Potential measles exposures.
Whereabouts?
I think on some VIA rail trains. And also a downtown restaurant. So public places where it could spread easily.
Okay, so it's definitely circulating. People could potentially encounter it just going about their day.
Right. It shows the real-world risk, makes the advisory feel less abstract,
Yeah, absolutely. Now, interestingly, around the same time, Canada also put out an update.
Oh, about the measles.
No, an update to their travel advisory for the United States.
Okay. What did they say?
They warn Canadians about increased scrutiny at U.S. borders, specifically mentioned checks of electronic devices, phones, laptops, that kind of thing.
So advisory is going both ways, though, about different things.
Exactly. We're not saying they're connected, just noting it happened around the same time, part of that broader context of cross-border movement right now.
Right. Adds another layer to consider when traveling, I suppose, separate from the health issue.
So let's bring it back. For you, the listener, maybe planning that Ontario trip. The key takeaway seems pretty straightforward.
It really is. This measles outbreak is significant. It's unusual. And the U.S. health authorities are concerned enough to issue a specific warning.
So bottom line, check your MMR vaccination status. Know if you're protected before you go.
That's the core message. Verify your shots.
Okay. So wrapping this up, this situation with measles, this sudden spike, it really highlights something, doesn't it?
Okay.
Just how easily things can move across borders in our world today. People, and unfortunately, diseases too.
Very true. We're incredibly interconnected.
So the final thought for you to maybe chew on. Given that ease of travel and how contagious something like measles is, what other health considerations might start playing a bigger role in cross-border travel? Things maybe we haven't thought much about before.
That's a really interesting question. Beyond the usual stuff, what else might pop up as global travel continues and patterns change? Something to think about.
Definitely something to think about. That's all for this deep dive.
Thanks for tuning in.